Yes. And here we are with Steve Struggle at the Here and Now, both in USA and here in Quebec. We are broadcasting to you with our weekly commentaries on the events unfolding in the ongoing revolutionary struggle as well going through, and we're talking about the preconditions, for the development of a new economy and society here in North America and in the world, especially in Palestine. But here, I'd like to bring to your attention the letter that was broadcast previously, what I read out, that was sent to H. Rap Bao. This letter here.
It's kind of disappearing. Okay. Yeah. Um,
So it's been returned, and then the stamp on the back here
right there. Yeah, yes. Hold it right there. Return to sender. Okay.
says that he's no longer at this address. So
Mm,
that's the address that was listed, in the on the internet for him. So we have to contact Denver ABC to find out where he is now in order to get the letter to him, and then we'll report back to you
right.
about what is what's happening to him. Because if he's been moved to another detention center, then we have to find out if that's a condition that is worse or better for him. Now, um, the there was sort of one poll that I saw this week, that was interesting with respect to Trump, because I want to ask you, what his level of popularity is now, if anything has changed, and the level of support that he has for the bombings of the boats coming out of Venezuela is really minimal. It's like 29%. So this seems to be something that's eating away at his popular support and his and with us, I'm wondering now if this Epstein thing is going to blow up in his face as well. Like you were saying to me, that the law that's going to be considered by the what is it, House of Representatives that you have there,
Right. Right.
going to pass a law asking for the declassification of all of the Epstein files. I wonder if it's going to ask for these files to be released without being redacted, that is, without the names being blocked out. So that's a big question as well. And if it's something as powerful as that, publishing all the files without the names being redacted, Trump is supposed to be able to veto it by not signing the bill. However, there is a provision for the House of Representatives with a supermajority, I don't know what it is, 60% or 75%, can overrule a veto of the president. And that would be precedent setting. That would be very interesting. After that, Trump, he could be overruled on any other sort of matter as well. So,
Well,
uh,
I think that on this one here, the way that the Republicans on the TV are talking, it's gonna be a cold day in hell before they block anybody votes to not release it, because they were saying here's how it would go. This was one dude was saying, some Republican dude. He was saying, "Well, look, Trump will be gone in 3 years. You may be in the Senate or House more than 3 years, and if say you vote the wrong way, that could come to haunt you later. So you might as well vote to release it, and that way you're just being transparent." And as far as the polls go, I'm looking at the polls right now from that same website we use, Silver Bulletin,
hmm,
and the polls, the disapproval ranges from the high of 62 to
hmm,
the low disapproval of 49.
hmm.
So you have 62, 38 disapprove, approve, or 449, 51 approve, disapprove. Depends on who's doing the polling.
Aha. Ah,
But if,
aha.
but the high of 62 is pretty high.
Uh-huh. And the that's a disapproval rate.
Right. Yes. Yes. right.
So what would be the approval rate, not counting the ones who are undecided?
The highest approval rate right now, according to this poll, is is 49.
Well, he's up to 49% approval.
This is just one of one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. One of 10 polls. Silver Bulletin lists 10 polls that show different approval or disapproval rates. So the highest disapproval rate is 62.38, and that's AP NORC poll. That's
Okay,
highest
but
disapproval, right?
that's disapproval. But what's the approval? The approval level. That's what
Okay,
am interested.
okay, for that poll, the approval level is 36%. So
36%.
right. On that one poll, it's 62.36.
Whoa, nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
It's an improvement.
Yes.
Okay, so his level of approval is going down.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, again, it's on that one poll, that's the highest level of disapproval that they have published so far.
Okay.
So six out
So
of
it's the
10.
files issue that's driving the approval
Let's
rate
see. Do
down.
they mention they mention immigration? This poll doesn't have the it doesn't have this website doesn't have how the Epstein is impacting it, but I'm sure we can find something that could tell you.
Well,
I'm sure that's tanking the guy. He, he, he isn't getting any help on that. No way. Mm-mm.
yeah, it's up to us. We look at the data, the empirical data here, and we see that it corresponds, to this whole debacle about Epstein.
Right.
So evidently, he's being considered to be a hypocrite and he's trying to conceal, his involvement in this
That's right.
affair.
Hypocrisy.
To one
Exactly.
degree or another, like how involved he was, is another matter, but he was involved
Was
and
involved.
he knew what was going on.
You know what was
So
going on, and there
it's
was
corrupt.
there was one story yesterday. I heard one of the ladies who was a friend of Epstein, a friend or otherwise friend of Epstein, said, "Well, give me the passcode to get in your gate, give me the key to get in the door, so I can be there Wednesday you get home." Okay, so then it's part of the email. This is emails, and then she said in the follow-up email, "Well, I don't want to get there too early if." If Donald Trump is there. I don't want to be in the apartment alone with him. So Trump was hanging out with this dude.
Yes.
She said, yeah, if a woman says that, she's saying this cat may try to make an advance on me, so I'd rather not be there when he's there.
So he's worse than Epstein.
Sounds like it to me.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
I've always, felt even when Trump was doing the beauty pageant thing that he was a that he was a possible rapist and sexual abuser. Just the way he was coming on those girls, you know.
Yeah. He talks like that too.
Right? He
Yeah.
talks like that exactly. So that's
Well, you have a video from Democracy Now!
yeah.
To
Let me
show.
explain. Let me explain to our viewers what this is all about. So, a
Yeah.
lot of people are focusing on Epstein and his carnal knowledge and his alleged island and his alleged sexual abuse and this kind of thing. Okay, and
Yeah.
but there's another side of Epstein. How did he get the island? How did he have an airplane? How did he have all this money? And what kind of connection did he have to be connected with these politicians? That's what everybody wants to know, right? What politicians was there with him? That's what everybody wants to know. So there's a story on Democracy Now! I heard this last night, and I'd like to share it with you. I think it may share a bit more knowledge of the situation. Let me see if we can can we do it? Can we do it again, please? Is this gonna work? This thing's not working recently. Let's see.
Oh,
There we go. There we go. Let's let's see. Let's go on. It's paused. Let's see here. Mhm. Try it again. Let's try it again. Let's try this one, maybe. Same issues coming up.
There it is.
It's not.
You just need to click on the go button
Okay.
on the left here in the screen. Yeah.
Well, here
Yeah.
it's not starting. That's probably a computer issue.
Uh,
So let's come back to it. Let's come back to it.
I've got it on pause, so you can try again.
Okay, good. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's just something.
Just go to the top of the browser and do a refresh of the page.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report.
Ready. Ready?
Okay. Take it back to the beginning. Slide the, you know how to move the slider to the left?
That's it. It starts right here. It starts right here.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to resume in now.
Of Representatives moves closer to forcing the release of the Epstein files by the Department of Justice. We turn now to look at a new series by Dropsite News looking at Epstein's ties to Israeli intelligence and how he secretly brokered numerous deals for Israeli intelligence. On Tuesday, Dropsite revealed an Israeli spy stayed for weeks at a time with Epstein in Manhattan. Dropsite has also looked at Epstein's role brokering a security agreement between Israel and Mongolia, and Epstein's role in setting up a back channel between Israel and Russia on Syria. This all comes as CNN's revealed today. Epstein mentioned Donald Trump by name multiple times in private correspondence over the last 15 years, according to newly released emails from Democrats in the House Oversight Committee. CNN's reporting the emails show Epstein asserts Trump spent significant time with a woman whom oversight Democrats describe as a victim of Epstein's sex trafficking. We're joined now by Dropsite's
I'll put it on
Murtaza
pause.
reporting on
Can you
Epstein
stop
with his
that?
colleague Ryan
Because
Grim. Murtaza, welcome
there's a
back to
mistake here.
Democracy Now!
There's no video.
Explain what you feel the media is not covering. What is the role of Jeffrey Epstein when it comes to U.S. foreign policy?
Steve, can you stop it? Yeah, because you have two versions of the same screen open. You have another tab in your browser that is broadcasting this with a video, and this is another tab, with the same thing. But
Hold on. Let's fix it. Stop share. Okay. All right. So what's going on?
you've got two of the same thing open. If you reopened it, somewhere else.
Let's go here. That's one. Okay. Oh yeah, we have two. So let's close one of them. Okay. Let's close one of them. How do we do that? Let's see. So I could share the one I have open now. You want to see if it's going to work? There's this one I have open now.
I don't know what you're doing. If you want to close the second one, show me what you're doing with the share screen,
Sure.
and then I'll tell you.
All right. Sounds good. So I actually close the second one. Wait a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
There's two of them open, right? I need to close. Let's see. Let me go back to the main screen here. That's what the problem is. Okay, let me close this here. Hold on a second. Okay, I closed one of them. That's closed. Okay. So now the other one should be open. It is open. Okay. So there's one open now, just one. So we should be able to share. That's okay. That's not right. Hold on a second. Damn it. Let's see. Let me see. Stop share. Let me go back again. Try it again. Okay.
I think you're just trying to maneuver and navigate, on your screen with the mouse.
No,
But
what it is the one that I closed, whatever happened, we had two of the same one. So let me go back and open it again. I just gotta go back open it again. It'll just be a second.
go to the other one.
Yeah, I'll go back and do it right. Okay. Give me a second. Now so you over here, you over here, here. Got this set up here. Okay. Okay, this is set up here. Here. Okay.
This is Democracy Now!
Okay, it's ready to go. Let me see, do I have it? Now let me try and share it. Okay.
Yeah, that's share.
That's the problem. It's not showing up on the share screen. So let me okay, I'm gonna close the share screen. And now
You're not on share now.
No, yeah,
I don't see any share screen.
Okay, cool. So now let me go back, share, and now it's here. Okay, I got it here. So I'll click on it, share it. It should be ready to go now.
Yes.
And now let me start
Okay.
it. Make sure it's going to work. That's been the problem the other damn time.
Oh, it'll work.
This is Democracy.
Got it. Okay, good. All right, we got you.
But okay, go to the beginning now.
Got you right there. Okay. I have a screen
No,
share.
it's not. Okay, it's at the beginning.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, it is. Yes.
Okay, now, okay, so after you share, go and put it, click on the full screen.
Okay. Full screen's on. Okay. Full screen's on.
I don't see full screen.
Hold on a second. It is something.
And how he secretly brokered numerous deals for Israeli intelligence. On Tuesday, DropSite revealed an Israeli spy stayed for weeks at a time with Epstein in Manhattan. DropSite has also looked at Epstein's role brokering a security agreement between Israel and Mongolia, and Epstein's role in setting up a back channel between Israel and Russia on Syria. This all comes as CNN's revealed today. Epstein mentioned Donald Trump by name multiple times in private correspondence over the last 15 years, according to newly released emails from Democrats in the House Oversight Committee. CNN's reporting the emails show Epstein asserts Trump spent significant time with a woman whom oversight Democrats describe as a victim of Epstein's.
Okay. All right. I think it's this Mac. It's because this should work better than this. Because we have the screen, we have the share. There's something about turning it on. It's just we're having some kind of problem. I'll try one more time. I'll do one more time. I'm gonna go here and put you over here for. Oh no, I can't do that.
But you're not at the beginning of the video, like
No,
there's no start the video at all.
Okay.
It's not a test to see if the video is working. This is a test to see if share is working. That's all.
Right. Okay, so let me go back here. Okay.
Go back to the screen with the video and refresh the screen. Just refresh it to give it a fresh start, and then just leave it at that.
Okay. Okay, so I have the screen we want to show on my computer.
Okay, refresh it.
Okay, refresh the screen. Okay. Yeah, it does. There's something. Okay. It's not showing on the share screen. That's the problem. There's something wrong with this setup here.
There is no share screen yet. We're not talking about share yet. Just Okay,
Okay.
now I'm sharing. Okay, there it is. Okay, fine. Just leave it at that. And just get the make it so that you can go to full screen. Like rise, lift the page, scroll down the page a bit so that it's open. Yeah. Okay, so it's ready to be shared screened, and then you can click on the go arrow. Okay, so leave it at that. Now stop the share. Oh no, you don't have to stop the share.
No, we can just
We
go
can
from here. We can just
start
go.
the video from here. Yeah, okay.
We can
So
go.
when the video restarts, put it into full screen and then click on the go arrow. Okay, here we go. Resuming recording right now.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. As the House of Representatives moves closer to forcing the release of the Epstein files by the Department of Justice, we turn now to look at a new series by Dropsite News looking at Epstein's ties to Israeli intelligence and how he secretly brokered numerous deals for Israeli intelligence. On Tuesday, Dropsite revealed an Israeli spy stayed for weeks at a time with Epstein in Manhattan. Dropsite has also looked at Epstein's role brokering a security agreement between Israel and Mongolia, and Epstein's role in setting up a back channel between Israel and Russia on Syria. This all comes as CNN's revealed today. Epstein mentioned Donald Trump by name multiple times in private correspondence over the last 15 years, according to newly released emails from Democrats in the House Oversight Committee. CNN's reporting the emails show Epstein asserts Trump spent significant time with a woman whom oversight Democrats describe as a victim of Epstein's sex trafficking. We're joined now by Dropsite's Murtaza Hussain, who's been reporting on Epstein with his colleague Ryan Grim. Murtaza, welcome back to Democracy Now! Explain what you feel the media is not covering. What is the role of Jeffrey Epstein when it comes to U.S. foreign policy?
So there's been a lot of justifiable focus on Epstein's very grave crimes and facilitation of the crimes of others related to sex trafficking and sex abuse. But one critical aspect of the story has not been covered is Epstein's own relations to foreign governments, the U.S. governments, and particularly foreign intelligence agencies. Now, this information is not entirely private. A lot of it is out there, actually, in House disclosures, as parts of certain lawsuits which have been leveled against Epstein or over Epstein's activities over the past few years. And in a few databases of leaked emails from certain figures around the world which have come out showing extensive contacts with Epstein. So I think that a lot of the coverage of him so far, to date at least, it's focused again on salacious details of his life and the crimes he was involved in related to minors and women. But the other aspect, the political aspect, and who he was and the role he played at this very high level, facilitating deals, interacting and liaisoning with intelligence agencies in different parts of the world, has not been covered. We don't know exactly who Epstein was specifically to be in the position to commit the crimes that he was doing. And our story is aiming to focus and shedding light upon one particular aspect, which is Epstein's extensive relationship with Israeli intelligence, U.S. intelligence, and the intelligence agency of other countries as well, too. He was a deal maker and a fixer at a very, very elite level, and he was making deals that were ultimately wound up, in some cases, being signed as formal security agreements between the government of Israel and other countries. That's what our series is focusing on right now. And it's just coming across naturally looking at the information contained in the publicly available data about his communications over the past, during the period of about 2013 to 2016.
So tell us who Yoni Koren is. You reveal that this senior Israeli intelligence officer lives in one of Epstein's apartments, had close personal ties to former CIA Director Leon Panetta. Can you talk about what specific intelligence gathering operations you believe that Koren was conducting from Epstein's apartment? And also, the relationship between Jeffrey Epstein and the former Prime Minister of Israel, Ehud Barak, which has been documented over and over again.
So a lot of the information we have now coming out about these intelligence ties do come from private correspondence between Barak and Epstein, which were leaked by hackers some years ago and posted online, but have never really been analyzed in great detail, but shed profound light on Epstein's ties, not just to Barack, but officials all over the world in foreign governments in Africa and Central Asia and Europe and Russia, whom he was helping connect Barack with. Interestingly, Barack was relying on Epstein's support rather than vice versa, despite the fact that Barack was a very powerful figure in the Israeli security establishment. And so these emails, in addition to House disclosures, which also point to the same information, showed that this intelligence agent, who was a longtime military intelligence agent in Israel, who was Barack's chief aide for many years, lived at Epstein's house for significant stretches of time, weeks at a time, between this period of 2013 2015. He was staying in Epstein's house. We don't know specifically from the communications what they may have been working on or what his role may have been there, the reason he was staying at his house. Barack would also stay at his house sometimes to hold meetings and to do business in New York. That was facilitated by that. But we do see that they were corresponding. And at one point, Epstein does transfer money to Cohen. And there is always communication between Barack and Cohen in the inbox, which we believe is coded communication, perhaps referring to dead drops of information or something else in New York City that they're engaged in. It's hard to tell because part of the reason that this correspondence is interesting is that we knew from the Snowden disclosures many years ago that Barack and Cohen were being surveilled by the NSA in New York around this time, or in the United States around this time. So whatever they were doing with Epstein or in his house in New York, amongst each other, with money, with sharing information or data or packages or something else, it was taking place in this period. And again, the interesting thing is that even if one would not look at the emails and keep those separate, this information is in the House disclosures. In Jeffrey Epstein's calendars, it's mentioned the Cohen's coming and going from his home and the day of his departure, that he was staying, how long he was staying for. So this is stuff that the media could be covering, the broader media could be covering. It's just escaped attention for reasons which, one can speculate or it's hard to say exactly. But we're going to continue drilling down this, not shying away from the political implications of his activities, Epstein's activities, and the ties he had with powerful figures like Barack and intelligence agents like Cohen.
The leaked emails showed that the former prime minister, Ehud Barak, bookmarked a private initiative with Oracle's Larry Ellison. Can you talk about the significance of this initiative?
So what we saw from the email is effectively that around the time that Epstein and Barack were corresponding, that Cohen's activities in New York at Epstein's home were going on, Barack himself had gone on to have a separate meeting with Larry Ellison. Now, Larry Ellison is a very well-known pro-Israel donor. He's a billionaire and the founder of Oracle. Currently, he's involved with his son buying up much of the American media. We've done other reporting on Ellison, drawn not from this database, but from a separate database of communications, which are also leaked and are posted on a website called the Distributed Denial of Service, Denial of Secrets. And they show that Ellison had been very involved with the Israeli government and other facets, helping, in a way, shape the American political system for Israel. He's helping vet political candidates at the behest of Israeli officials for their favorability towards Israel to determine who we give money to. So we don't know from the correspondence with Barack what he was discussing with Ellison at that time or what the private initiative may have been. There's no further, not everything was discussed by email. A lot of things were discussed by phone, so not everything is documented in that manner. But we do know that Ellison was very closely involved in promoting the perceived interests of Israel in the United States at that time. And Barack was doing the same thing. And interestingly, Epstein was doing the same thing. Epstein was helping Barack facilitate Israeli interests around the world, different countries, helping him refine his pitches, connecting with people to help pursue, the geopolitical interests of the Israeli government. And this is all coming as for one parcel of that. And so at Barack's meeting with Ellison, one can imagine it would have something to do with the ongoing efforts he'd be engaged in.
The leaked emails showing Jeffrey Epstein and Barack securing a private meeting with Vladimir Putin in 2013 to orchestrate the removal of Bashar al-Assad. It didn't succeed, but in an email exchange, Epstein wrote to the former prime minister of Israel, "With civil unrest exploding in Ukraine, Syria, Somalia, Libya, and the desperation of those in power, isn't this perfect for you?" Barack replied, "You're right in a way, but not simple to transform it into a cash flow, a subject for Saturday," Ehud Barak wrote. Can you talk about, as we wrap up, that relationship between Jeffrey Epstein and Ehud Barak attempting to profit from the war in Syria?
Well, that email that you just read out is a very important email because it kind of explains the broader thesis that Epstein and Barak have been operating under and what they've been doing exactly. They've been going around the world Epstein been pitching Barak as someone who could solve the security problems of different countries and introducing him to powerful people in these countries. We're going to cover more of those in the weeks and months to come. And telling them that Barak, through his connections with the Israeli intelligence and Israeli intelligence linked surveillance technology firms, especially, could help introduce them to these countries, embed them, and then later sign formal deals with Israel. We did a story about this, how it manifested in Cote d'Ivoire, also Mongolia. In this tie with Russia, it's very fascinating because Epstein was the one who was arranging a back channel between Barak and Putin to discuss this deal to remove Bashar al-Assad and replace him with putatively, pro-Russian dictator who Israel was also okay with. That didn't come to pass. But I think that the interactions show a tremendous access that Epstein enjoyed, not just to Israeli officials or U.S. officials, but also to Russian officials. He had the ability to get meetings with Putin. He met with Putin himself on numerous occasions, according to his own correspondence. And that is something that how did that come about? What was the background behind that? We don't know. But we do know that at the very least, Epstein was somebody who considered himself to have the ability to access high-level Russian officials. He claimed in the emails, as I mentioned, that he met Putin or Putin asked to meet him. That's Epstein's own depiction of the interaction. But he did absolutely have the juice to get Barak in the room with Putin. And the funny thing is that Barak had to rely on Epstein for that, to create that back channel. It shows the tremendous influence and power that Epstein had, which does not really, we have not had a full accounting of that. That has not been accounted for in our public understanding of this case. We hope to shed more light on that in our own reporting, but we need the government, we need other news outlets to pay attention to this and put together the pieces of who Epstein was and the role he played as an international deal maker.
Murtaza Hussain, I want to thank you for being with us, national security reporter at Dropsite News. We'll link to your new articles about Jeffrey Epstein's ties to Israeli intelligence. Coming up, Put Your Soul on Your Hand and Walk, a new documentary on Gaza by the acclaimed Iranian director Sepideh Farsi. Scenes of destruction on every side.
Okay, I've paused the recording in order for you to stop the video.
Thank you. So with this, I'm sorry.
Okay.
You go. Okay, cool. That was a lot in that segment. I'm gonna tell you something.
Okay, now we're going to resume recording.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, that was a lot. That was incredible. I was very surprised, that
Yes,
connection through Epstein between Barak of Israel and Putin of Russia.
that's the point.
Irony.
That's the point I want to talk about. That right there. That because some stuff has come out since Assad is gone, which has come out through the reporter, what's her name? She lives in Syria. She was in Syria, now she's in Lebanon. And she's had some people on her show which basically said what went down couldn't have gone down without Russia's agreement. What went down with him taking off, and there was some stuff. But the fact that he even had a meeting like that is really treacherous to me. If it's true.
Yes.
If it's true.
It's probably true, I think, but Russia and Israel conspiring to remove Assad was too late because there was Turkey conspiring to remove Assad as well, and Turkey won out, the race to remove Assad.
Good point. But I thought the fact that this isn't talked about, the political connections he had, how he could connect meetings and move money, that's what there's much more to this, and I really think. I don't know. I'm not saying Trump's going to go behind this, but somebody's got to shut it down. And if it goes too far, too many people are going to get exposed. Someone's got to shut it down.
Prince Andrew as well got
stripped.
Yeah,
stripped of his stuff. So it obviously had impact in England. It's going to have an impact in the United States, but Israel's not going to be touched. No, it's not. Watch. Unless we see when it comes to the political stuff, that's not what newspapers want. Unfortunately, they want salacious sex scandal. Tell you, a man in a sex scandal, a politician, you are gone. At least in the West. In the West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Orthodox Christian mentality, any sexual scandal uh, is a ticket to hell, basically,
Right.
and it means a loss of a job, and but mass murder, that's okay,
Yes, bro, it's fine.
Yeah.
Mass murder, hey, we can handle that. But not
Yeah.
no, can't have a sex scandal. But with
No.
this sex scandal, there's politics and money along the road. And that's why I thought this story is so important for people to see this episode of Michael Janelle, because it's not being talked about. And that brother had it straight. Boom, 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 boom. Facts, 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 facts. No slander, no innuendo, just facts. Emails, stuff on paper.
Yeah, and the images were right there and then. Yeah.
Right there.
Very,
That's what you
yeah.
want. Keep your emails or find some way of destroying them, but you never know who has a copy of the email. As long as it's on the internet, someone else may have a copy of it. You just don't know.
Yeah. Nothing ever disappears anymore.
That's right. It doesn't disappear no more, man. All of a sudden, hey, we found it somewhere. Hey, Anyway, I hope this sheds some light with our viewers that this Epstein story is pretty deep, and the system we live in is pretty crooked. We live on that wants us to live under is pretty crooked. That's why we need another way of living.
Yeah.
That's why we need,
And
and this show's about that.
yes. And this Epstein scandal is certainly eating away at the support of Netanyahu. As was mentioned, he's down to 39%
Boy,
favorable support, down from 44%, just a week or a month ago, was it? Like things change so rapidly here now. Yeah. Um, I wanted to, in this recording, I wanted to show the letter that was sent to H. Rap Brown
right.
at the
Let's see what
Tucson, Arizona
little,
penitentiary was returned, with the stamp saying that he's no longer at that address. So we have to find out from the Denver ABC, where he is located
yeah, we gotta
now, so
find
that we
out.
can,
Or there should be some kind of support committees.
give him some support network. Yes.
Yeah, gotta be a support network.
Yeah. That's another matter that has to be. So Denver, we're going to be calling you, ABC there.
We sure will be. Definitely. No doubt about it. We're gonna track this brother down, find out where he is.
Uh-huh. I have some material, some video material as well that I put up on my Facebook page, that
Please
is
share,
important,
please. Very important.
that I can share with you as well. And I think I've got it set up. Let's see what happens here. Here it is. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's my Facebook page. The first image there is of this coin minted in 1927 that mentions Palestine. And it mentions Palestine in Arabic on the right-hand side. And it also mentions Palestine in Hebrew with Hebrew lettering there. But at the end of the Hebrew lettering, the British snuck in a little sort of parenthesis with two letters, that are an abbreviation for Eretz Yisrael, which is a Zionist term meaning that they want to reoccupy all of the territory which they consider to be Israel, which happens conveniently to be called Palestine nowadays. So they wanted all of Palestine. It's embedded in this coin, actually, which is at the bottom. Can't be seen from that view, but it's a little sneaky thing that the British did there in favoring the Zionist occupation. Now this here, I think this is the mayor of Chicago. It has a very important.
We are here because the federal government under the Trump administration has failed to meet even the most basic expectations of transparency and accountability before this council. This administration seeks to evade scrutiny for its violations of human rights, just as it had.
Oh no. No, this is important.
We are here because the federal government under the Trump administration has failed to meet even the most basic expectations of transparency and accountability before this council. This administration seeks to evade scrutiny for its violations of human rights, just as it has sought to evade accountability for its actions in cities like mine. This refusal to engage in good faith with international mechanisms for accountability and oversight is a moral failure. Here in Chicago, we are taking concrete steps through executive orders, local policy reforms, and community organizing to ensure that our city protects all of our people. I invite the UN's independent experts to visit Chicago to witness both our challenges and our progress firsthand. And I urge the Human Rights Council to consider additional measures of accountability, including a special session to examine the worsening human rights crisis in the United States. The people of Chicago and of this nation deserve a government that honors their dignity, not one that diminishes it. We are here because the federal government under the Trump administration has failed to meet even the most basic.
Very important presentation.
Well, I have an important follow-up for you, brother. I have an important follow-up on you right now.
Yes.
This is not good. El Amin has 3 months to live. It's on the ABC. I said ABC, Denver ABC. They're always going to come through. They have a link here from students for Imam Jamil Al-Amin. It says, with aching hearts, we share that Imam Jamil has an estimated prognosis of only 3 months to live following the gross neglect by the prison system of Imam Jamil's cancerous tumor growth on his face. He has not received any of his mail in the last 2.5 months. That's why your letter was sent back. They're calling on everyone to write a handwritten letter to Imam Jamil with the details in the post. Let's make sure the Federal Medical Center P.O. Box overflows with letters to Imam Jamil to remind the prisoner that he is not forgotten. Tag us on your story with your letter so we can amplify the love and support for being sent to Imam Jamil. That's at Jamil El-Amin, number 99974-555. FMC Butner, P.O. Box 1600, Butner, North Carolina, 27509. Once again, Jamil, second name Al-Amin, Amin, number 99974-555. FMC Butner, P.O. Box 1600, Butner, North Carolina, 27509. That's from the Anarchist Black Cross. They're always the best political prisoners. There's no better group in the country. They don't mess around. We were right to their website, and there it was. And this is November, this month. So this is posted this month.
Okay. So now we know where he is. Okay, good.
And it says a lot about our program that we reached out to him, because we wouldn't even be covering this story if we hadn't reached out to him.
That's right. So he's going to die. No, another loss.
Another loss.
Yeah.
Okay. Inside the prisons, they put our people in the prisons to kill them.
Yeah. So he should be released now.
Normally, that's what they would do. In most situations in the United States, they release them right now, so they'll die outside and they don't die inside. So I'm surprised they haven't let them out, because normally they will let them, but the Trump administration may say die in prison.
Oh yeah. Okay, well then that's where we should put Trump then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, that's criminally neglect.
That's
This
right.
is too much, Okay. Okay, here's another video. She has a message.
Black military contributions go all the way back to the start of this stolen country's history. So let's start from the beginning. The American Revolution. In 1775, over 5,000 black soldiers served in the Continental Army, fighting for independence from Britain. They were enslaved and fought in exchange for freedom. But after the war, black soldiers, despite their crucial role in securing American independence, were betrayed and denied that promise of freedom. This would continue to happen, by the way. Instead, they were returned to slavery. And then came the Civil War in 1861. The Civil War marked the turning point for black soldiers. Over 180,000 black men served in the Union Army, primarily in the United States Colored Troops, called the USCT. They played crucial roles in major battles and helped tip the balance of power in favor of the Union. The most famous of these units was the 54th Massachusetts Infantry Regiment, who fought bravely in the assault on Fort Wagner. Despite their significant contributions, black soldiers faced extreme racism from both the Confederate and Union forces. After the war, many black veterans were treated as second-class citizens. They struggled to access the benefits and recognition given to white veterans. And racial violence in the South, such as the rise of the Ku Klux Klan, continued to target them. Next up, we have the Spanish-American War in 1898. Around 10,000 black soldiers served in the Spanish-American War. Black people were placed in segregated units, but they still fought valiantly. One of the most notable groups was the 9th and 10th Cavalry, known as the Buffalo Soldiers, who played key roles in Cuba. After the war, black veterans were still treated with disdain and discrimination. Even though they had proven their courage, racism continued to pervade American society. Many veterans returned to segregated communities and were denied the full rights and respect of their white counterparts. Next up was World War I in 1917. About 350,000 black men served in World War I. The 369th Infantry Regiment, known as the Harlem Hellfighters, gained fame for their bravery in battle, winning France's prestigious Croix de Guerre. I'm sorry, that probably was a terrible translation, but it was a very important award. They won this award for their actions on the front lines. Despite their distinguished service, black soldiers faced racism both at home and abroad. In France, they were often treated better than they were in the U.S., but upon returning home, they were met with hostility, violence, and segregation. The post-war period saw the rise of the Red Summer in 1919, marked by race riots in numerous cities. World War II was next in 1941. Over 1 million black Americans served in World War II, both black men and women, in many segregated units. The Tuskegee Airmen, an all-black squadron of pilots, gained national fame for their heroics and impressive combat record. Black soldiers also served in combat roles in Europe and the Pacific. Black soldiers faced harsh discrimination, both in the military and in civilian life. On returning home, many were subjected to the same systemic racism as before the war, including segregation, limited job opportunities, and violence. Despite their contributions to defeating fascism abroad, black Americans continued to fight for civil rights and equality at home. Next up was the Korean War in 1950. The Korean War marked the beginning of the integration within the U.S. military, contributing to the success of the United Nations forces. Although the military was officially desegregated in 1948 by President Truman's Executive Order 9981, racism and discrimination were still pervasive in the ranks. Next up was the Vietnam War, 1955 to 1975. Around 300,000 black soldiers served in Vietnam War. The 369th Infantry Regiment was reactivated, and the black soldiers were heavily involved in combat on the front lines. Many black soldiers also became anti-war activists, speaking out against the war and the treatment of black people in the military. Despite this significant participation, black soldiers faced discrimination within the military. They were often given dangerous, menial jobs. When they returned home, they faced the same racial prejudice as other black veterans. Many veterans were disillusioned by the war and the racial inequality they experienced both on the battlefield and upon their return. Post-Vietnam, the black soldiers continued to serve in all branches of the U.S. military, with many achieving high ranks and distinguished service. Black Americans have played roles in both Gulf Wars, the War on Terror, and the conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan. Although there has been significant progress in terms of integration and equality in the military, racism persists. Black service members have reported discrimination in assignments, promotions, and leadership opportunities. On returning home, they have often faced similar challenges as those faced by earlier generations of veterans, including systemic racism in employment, housing, and policing. They were frequently denied the same post-war benefits, such as the GI Bill, as their white counterparts. But what's the big deal? I mean, what's the GI Bill anyway? Well, I'm glad that I asked myself that question. The GI Bill provided financial assistance for veterans to attend college, vocational schools, and technical training programs. It covered tuition, books, and other related expenses. This access to education helped many veterans earn degrees and improve their job prospects after returning home. The bill also provided funding for apprenticeship programs and job training, home loans. Veterans were given the opportunity to obtain low-cost, government-backed loans to purchase homes, farms, or businesses. The goal was to help them secure stable housing and avoid the financial difficulties that many would have faced when transitioning back to civilian life. Unemployment benefits. The GI Bill offered unemployment compensation for veterans who were unable to find work immediately after returning home. This helped veterans support themselves and their families during an often difficult period of readjustment. Healthcare. Veterans were provided with access to medical care through the Veterans Administration, now the Department of Veteran Affairs, which expanded its network of hospitals and clinics to accommodate the needs of returning soldiers. The GI Bill played a major role in post-World War II economic boom. It helped millions of veterans secure higher education and home ownership, which in turn contributed to the growth of the middle class, the white middle class. While the GI Bill was revolutionary in many ways, its benefits were not equally available to all veterans. Black veterans in particular faced significant discrimination when trying to access the GI Bill benefits. Many were denied admission to colleges, faced racial segregation in housing loans, and struggled to get fair treatment from the Veterans Administration. This created a significant gap in opportunity between Black and white veterans, particularly in the realms of education and home ownership and employment. So to recap, Black American soldiers have made invaluable contributions to every major U.S. military conflict, often serving with distinction under difficult and segregated conditions. Unfortunately, their treatment upon returning home was often unjust, as they faced the harsh realities of systemic racism, the harsh realities of being Black in America. However, their courage and resilience and perseverance have paved the way for future generations of Black Americans to serve with honor and dignity. My grandfather was drafted to the Korean War, and he is the greatest man I've ever known, and I miss him every day of my life, and I always will. And if he had not survived being on the front lines of that war, I would not be here. I'm grateful for the sacrifices he made for me, for our family. I'm grateful to all the Black men and women who served this country, not for them, but for me, for us. And with that, I say, I love you, Black man. I love you, Black woman. Knowledge is power, power to the people.
That's good. But, there's a certain element of a glorification of Black participation in colonial wars there.
Yeah, yeah, some of it I had to kind of, I think
Yeah.
after the Civil War, it was pro capitalist and pro imperialist the whole way. Civil War,
Yeah.
we can go with that.
Mm.
Anyway, but thank you for sharing that. Thank you.
That was nice, yeah. And then here's two Jewish Palestinians inside of Palestine. This is part of the resistance there, spreading out. And then here's the Jewish opposition here, expressed by Neturei Karta, leading demonstrations quite often. Here's an interesting sort of thing. This is an important video. This is how ICE is treating people now. ICE is getting more violent. Before they were sort of, like humble compared to what they're doing now. Oh yeah, here's the audio. Yeah, that's that. Enough of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just want to say something about the Portland situation. We haven't
Hmm.
talked about that. You know, Trump has been prevented from sending federal troops to Portland. That
Yeah.
unless the troops are there from California that he had, um, he was essentially prevented from doing this. It hasn't been talked about too much, but I don't want to say I want to raise the left fist of salute to Portland. They're mostly the white people in Portland. They're mostly white people. They're not black people. They're not Latin people. It's white people. And they've been
Hmm.
standing up. They've been fighting back for a long time in this country, not Portland and in Seattle. The whole South, the whole Northwest is full of revolutionary, radical white people who have stood up and haven't been scared to get beat down, go to jail, or fight. They've taken up arms in the struggles. And I just want to give them my salute because
Yeah.
you know, the area itself is Oregon is a very racist state. It's extremely racist state.
Hmm.
Still is. Even, you know, even there was some reparations given to black people a few years ago by the former governor. But
Hmm.
when during I want to say the last 5 or 10 years in Portland, especially, there's been a lot of anti-racist fight because there are also a lot of racist people there as well. So it's kind of a tense city, but I just want to give them some solidarity because they do stand up. And also
Hmm.
in Denver, they do stand up, and they're white people standing up. So in solidarity with Latin people, black people, immigrants. And that's something that people just don't talk about too much.
Yes, salute to Nicole, Comrade Nicole, Red Pagan in Portland. He's a consistent spokesperson there.
There you go.
Always, yeah, strong man,
Right.
strong woman.
Yes,
Yeah,
always you find them there. You know, anarchists, you find environmentalists. So right, there's a something about that region that they've been able to keep those movements, and the FBI is always infiltrating them, trying to bring them down because they're very strong. Yeah, they are.
yeah. Okay, I guess we're coming to the end now before we hit an hour so that we can get this into TikTok as well.
Okay.
And so the last video from the 26th of October, has made some headway on YouTube as well. I think because of the f- the cover image, like is very cute, showing Captain America, planting a blow onto the some Nazi face there or other, taking him out. So that became quite popular.
Yeah, well, it's okay. That's okay. If Captain America if Captain America can become a progressive force, I'm okay with that. The cartoon, because at one time, as I understand it, Superman was supposed to be an anti-Nazi, as I understood at one time.
Yeah. Well, here, like the two Jewish guys in Toronto, they invented Superman, and he was sort of a parallel, to the loss of his people and his planet that was destroyed. Like he's sort of a refugee, just like the Jewish refugees like me, that came to Toronto.
There you go. There you go. Okay. That's cool. That's good. That's good. Well, I think we had a really great show. We covered a lot of ground. We also exposed the situation facing with our dear brother Jamil El-Amin. We talked about it. Now I hope our viewers will write El-Amin. He obviously will not be with us much longer. So we have the responsibility to reach out and give him solidarity and let others know what's happening. See what we can see if there's any way we can get him out. Because
Yeah.
we should be some way we can get him out. I don't know
Yeah.
how, but if we put our heads together, get some legal minds together, should be something hopefully we can get him out.
Well, when we find the location of the penitentiary that he's, at, then people in that area, should be out there, doing a picket, to bring people's attention to this, so we can get some coverage. That's the way to go.
Okay, well, we got to reach people. We got to reach our folks in North Carolina, Tennessee, and South Carolina, and the Atlanta, Virginia area.
Yeah. Okay, good.
On them.
Okay. Okay. À la prochaine, as we say here in Quebec. Until next time.
Until next time.